for our own net note taking, as I'm going to say it. Let me just see.
Yeah, sure.
Share screen. Okay, so client puts up, so the purpose of this call is that I have a client who's put up 250K with the law firm, and there's another client who's going to put up 250K on Friday with the law firm. And I just want to make sure the agreements that Rob, I need to send to these clients, whatever matches, whatever William and you and whatever will say. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so 250K goes to law firm. Okay, so everybody understands that. Out of that, so I'm just going to say 200K because I want to keep 50K for my fees. So I said 200K. Rob provides the bank that the 200K needs to go to. Okay.
Correct.
Then the 200K goes to purchase DLCs.
Correct.
DLC for $4 million.
Correct.
The DLCs have a 60-day maturity is 60-day maturity.
6 months and 1 day.
Oh, 6 months. I thought it was 60 days. Why did I think it's 60 days?
No, we're gonna try to pay it off in 60 days, give or take 60 banking days. Like we're gonna wipe out and do it, but we have 6 months.
Okay, good to know. I didn't know. I honestly didn't. All this time I've been working with DLCs. I don't know why I thought.
No, it's 6 months and a day because it's 180 on SBLC's 1 year and a day.
Yeah.
Or 3. So that's why.
Now it makes sense because I was running under the impression of 6 days. I was like, how could the numbers say?
Oh no, 6 months. Like we're giving it more than enough time because we were discussing we're buying the physical product, it has to be shipped. Shipping, as you know, is a nightmare because of what's going on in logistics globally. Then you make payment, and then obviously the bankers are getting paid on both ends. So that's why 6 months is ample time. You could do 3, but there's no point. It doesn't make a difference. Just might as well use the extra couple months.
Okay, so we've done that part. This DLC will purchase $4 million. Now the Rob gives $4 million DLC to William, who is a trustee of a trust in LA.
No, this is not for the trust. No, this is
just call William the supplier or seller to make it.
How about William the buyer?
He's a seller. He's
I'm the
selling.
seller.
Yeah, he's selling just like he's selling the deer antler velvet. He's selling a product, a physical commodity. Let's call it commodity seller.
Okay, so who's selling? So William is the one selling the DLC.
No, he's selling the product.
No, I'm actually selling the products. Okay, so you can say that no matter you want to say there's monetize it or I am the seller for the goods, the product.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
So why does the seller need a DLC?
No, this is actually a payment. So I am actually selling the products, and then once I deliver the inquiry document, then my bank will act on my behalf to requesting the funding from the issuing bank. So it's actual transaction. It's not just trading the paper itself.
Yeah.
It's to buy and sell the product.
Yeah, the underlying thing is just like William has the deer antler velvet, that's the product. I'm buying, he's selling. We're using the DLC as an instrument to buy and sell. Difference is by using that as an excuse, we're able to draw down and do this whole thing.
Got it. So William's going to his bank and saying, I buy and I sell widgets.
Yeah.
I want to sell a documentary letter of credit.
No, I am selling the goods. For example,
Okay.
LC, you sent it to me before. They are buying the copper, or they are buying the sugar.
Yeah.
The document LC.
Yeah, sugar is a good example. Yeah, sugar could be lumber, let's just say sugar. So William sells sugar. I want to buy it.
William sells sugar. Okay. So why does William need a DLC?
DLC is a payment instruction, which is it allows me to draw the fees upon the both party agree.
DLC acts as a payment instruction and allows William to draw what?
Draw
Fees.
as a payment.
So you are selling the DLC.
No, I'm not selling the DLC. Okay,
You're selling your goods.
Yeah, here, I'm just gonna send this to you. This is just, if you look at your WhatsApp, Tamar, so this is just, I put this in the, both groups. So you'll see that's the exact verbiage from the Swift website, but that's, it's what it is. It's a financial instrument.
mm-hmm. Remember tomorrow, in the past, you sent me the couple DLC and want to monetize it.
Yeah.
Okay, the DLC, it's not good for the third parties of monetization. It's only allows for buyer and seller to working directly, which is using the document LC as a payment gateway instead of to pay upfront. The DLC purpose is when the seller providing the performer invoice, bill of landing, which is it's instructed to shipping. So the product actually ship out. Then I presenting this document to my bank, and my bank will corresponding with the issuing bank to requesting the issuing bank to pay for that money.
Got it.
Okay, so once I submit a document, and then the issuing bank, they need to providing that paperwork, the funding. It's upon the bank processing schedule and all of the time frame.
Got it. Okay. So you're selling goods. You're using a DLC to document your letter of credit to say, I have a document your letter of credit for $4 million. Can you, Mr. Bank, give me a credit for $2 million?
Yeah, 30 to 50%, depending on the bank, but let's say Chase is 50.
Okay, so Chase provides 50% LTV.
30 to 50 in that range.
Okay, 30 to 50%. And then the client gets, let's just say 50%. That's just for this conversation. So now the client gets $2 million cash.
Now the client, meaning as my company, will draw that $2 million. Okay, and then I need to sign the undertaking letter using either as an investment or IOU to send out to, for example, if Robert is an issuer, then I will send this fund to Robert. Or, I will send, for example, if you have a customer engaged, then you need to pay off to him. So I will sign the undertaking as the, either IOU or as an investment to their corporation, and then I send that funding to them.
Okay, got it. So now Rob gets $2 million. And then he calls the client and says, I have $2 million.
Mhm.
You want to rinse
Oh,
and
let me
repeat?
tell him, hey, Jackie. Yes, I'm actually in the conference call right now. Are you gonna take a rest shortly? Oh, yeah, sure. Let me handle some stuff. Okay, thank you. Bye. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay. So now you send $2 million to Rob as an investment. Rob has $2 million, and now he calls the client and says, your $200,000 turned into $2 million. Do you want the $2 million or we do merry-go-round again? Client says, let's do merry-go-round again.
Yep.
Rob purchases another DLC, but this time for $40 million.
Or SBLC.
Okay, from which bank?
It's either gonna be if it's an SBLC, it'll be a top 5 bank. It'll either be HSBC, Standard Chartered, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, or UBS.
If there's a DLC?
DLC, we're gonna stick with this bank. We can do as well, top 25 banks. BNP Paribas, Barclays, we can do HSBC,
Whoever.
or again, as we see this case, it's Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank, which is the strong corresponding bank that is doing this.
Okay, got it. So then, so this, how many days does it take for you to purchase a DLC?
The secret sauce is we're gonna say front to back because it's really, it can be received and issued. It's the approval, as William has shown. It's let's just say front to back 15 banking days. Yeah.
Sorry, just trying to figure this out. So this also takes 15 banking days.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're on day 30. And on day 30, what all that happened was $200,000 got $4 million that turned into $2 million cash, then turns into $40 million DLC. Now, $40 million DLC goes back to the same person, William.
The $40 million okay, let's say this way, for the large amounts, I would suggest to go for the third party because in United States, even I have a very, good relationship with the bank. To jump in from $4 million and immediately having a $40 million, it's kind of like a tricky. So
Yeah.
For the $40 million, after the $4 million trading, the document LC, by all means, for anything exceed for 4 million, I will having my colleague, which is there's a 3 company was involved. You can just put a person name called Lanny, Lanny. Okay, we were using for Nanking Bank or Bank of China,
Yeah.
or Industrial Commercial Bank of Indonesia. Either way, this is a 3 different company, and we can handle it from $10 million all the way to, a couple $1 billion monetization.
And again, the key thing here, Tamor, is they have the active credit line facilities in place, which is why I had sent you Lanny's example, because he was doing, what was it, William? It was 25 million to 2 billion on that proof of funds.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
that's why I sent that to you about 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's an active credit line facility to monetize.
Yeah, please keep it confidential. I have a note.
100%. It's not going, this is just between us.
Yes, yes. So that's what I showed to Robert. that,
No,
you know,
you can trust me. You can trust me with your life, no problem. So now my question is, how many days does this take? Because it's not between Rob and William. Rob
Okay,
and William,
so the issuer, which is it will be the Robert's company name or my name, either way. And then we will sign the contract, DOA, which is you already have a copy.
yeah,
Okay, we can just follow that and to working on. So the processing protocol will be parallel as follow. The issuing bank, they're gonna send the MT-799 as a pre-advice.
this is the issuing bank, like Bank of China or Bank of Industrial of
The
Indonesia.
issuing
Like,
bank is the SBLC, the 14 million.
oh, got it. Of the SPLC or DLC.
No DLC. They don't work on the DLC. It's only for the SBLC. So Rob, please provide that for the SBLC.
Okay, so should I just take this off? 40 million buys a DLC and not a SPLC?
Yes,
Yeah, let's just get sick of the SPLC, yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so Rob now purchases a DLC, SPLC
yes,
for $40 million from SPLC from the top 5 banks in the world, and it takes 15 banking days. Issuing bank of the SPLC sends a what did you say?
issuing bank send the
Pre-advice,
of SBLC send the MT-799
MT-799 to
to
Bank of China.
monetization,
To who?
to monetization company / Lenny.
Okay,
LANNY.
okay,
Yes, okay, and then the monetization parties bank will reply the RWA undertaking to confirm, which is that is exactly either is using RWA or they can draw, print out the proof of fund and send it to the issuer, which is Robert, right? So then Robert, knowing that the monetization party have a sufficient credit line, and then the issuer can instruct the issuing bank to initiate the MT-760.
and how many days does this take?
No, there's no money. Issuing bank of the SPLC send the MT-799 to the monetization company, and then the monetization bank will provide the RWA or the proof of fund. Okay, to issuer. To issuer, not the issuing bank. To issuer, which is a Robert, right?
Okay,
Okay, and then, issuing bank to send the MT-760.
to who?
To monetization party, to Lenny. The MT-760 is actual for the SPLC. It's blocking. So please, your MT-760, you need to put it here /SPLC. Yes.
Now SPLC gets monetized at, I'm going to say 70% LTV.
Up to.
Up to, okay.
Okay.
Now, if we do the
up to-
non-recourse option, let's just, William, it's about 50% if it's non-recourse.
Less than, if non-recourse is less than 50%.
Okay. So,
So far, one case I'm negotiating from Deutsche Bank, that's total 1B, and they want to do the non-recourse. So Lenny's group are replying as about 44 plus 2.
so let's say 40% net. Does that sound for non-recourse? Because we want to just,
Non-recourse.
yeah, we just want to wipe, like, we want to just wipe it, go into the wealth enhancement, wipe everything.
For
Okay.
non-recourse.
Okay, so now let me go back to the numbers. So $4 million DLC, which goes to William, the seller. Everybody understands that. It gets it into, it goes to the seller, Lenny, for 30%. So 30% of 4 million is 1.2 million. When you do a non-recourse of that 1.2 million, what do you get?
Uh,
The 40% out of the 40 million.
It's 16 million, yeah. 40 of the, yeah. It's a 40 million SBLC.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, based on the 40 million SBLC.
Okay, guys, sorry. I dropped a zero. It was
Oh,
important.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all good.
40% of 40 million.
Yeah.
SBLC.
Yeah.
Is $16 million cash the client gets.
Put non-recourse, like,
Okay. I got that. Okay, cool. Now,
so at this point, this is where we do the wealth enhancement option.
but hold on a second. So let's assume I'm the client. It doesn't
Okay,
matter
you're
who
the
the client is. I'm the
Gotcha.
client. Somebody still has to put cash on this $4 million on day one. So now 4 million leaves the 16 million, right?
Correct.
Pay down DLC.
Yep.
For 4 million. And now here you also have to pay broker fees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming is the keyword. It's $1 million.
Okay.
I made that assumption. The numbers were right. Okay. So now the client's left with $11 million. This is now the client can exit if they want to.
And if they want, they can put that $11 million with your Rothschild family.
Now, William, you were not part of this call, but now when we were doing this run through, it wasn't as detailed with Ronak. I told Ronak, why don't you, if Rob and William perform, why don't you continue doing this? And then you do half Rothschild, half William and Rob, and you have a diversification. So if one of them screw up, the other was performing. He liked that. Now the Rothschild family work HSBC London, and then they own some banks or something in Singapore and Mali or whatever else they own.
Yeah.
But nothing that I hear, with the exception of HSBC, that I don't see how their system and your system could overlap. So if there's a screw up in the system because of banking shutdown or something, I don't know.
You know, actually, for me, I do have my own trading platform, which is the gentleman just called me.
Yeah.
That was Jackie. God bless him. Great guy.
Yeah, and which is he's handling for anything 100 million and above.
Right. So in this case, it wouldn't work. So now let's say the client has 11 million. We want to rinse and repeat. Okay, so let's say Rothschild family takes half. So let's say they take 5.5 million. And then William Rob, I'm going to say Tamor. Okay, with this 5.5 in a non-recourse, can we do this again and again and again?
Yes.
Yeah, we can. Like I said, it's banking season. So we have a banking season now. We have a banking season September, October, early November.
Fair enough. So now I give you $5.5 million.
let me go get some water, okay?
Okay. Oh my God, Zoom doesn't allow you to write more than, that sucks.
Yeah, so let's just assume they've done this now, and then it's, you know, we got in the Rothschild. It would be do it all over again in September.
Brother, this really sucks. I didn't know Zoom has a limitation on characters.
Okay.
This is, I never knew that even it existed. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I now capture this. Perfect. Okay, so now we have 5.5 million. Rob, I give you back $5.5 million in cash. What can we do with this?
The numbers would be, we get a better price break on it because at this point, we're gonna be doing much larger, it would be, in this case, I'd go straight to SPLCs, and I think we'll agree with that. We go SPLCs. We would aim to get, and you saw this today, and I say it because it's from Deutsche Bank. It's just around that range where we could get good, legitimate, leased cash back SPLCs just around that $100 million range.
And then monetizes up to 70%.
Yeah, but with this case, we're going to go with a non-recourse option. We want to stick with having no debt liabilities. So let's just go with what William's saying, 40%. It's $40 million after fees, everything.
Okay, so now the client gets $40 million. Awesome. Then what happens?
I would go to William, or if the Rothschild group is open, and put that cash in the trade. Because there are options around that. I'm going to say 25M mark, William. I mean,
Yes,
PBS is, you're pushing it at 50. I know they can do it at 50 million, but again, Rothschild is the best option. And if not, there are a couple good, decent vanilla programs that can get it ramped up.
Okay, and then so with the Rothschild one, I know for $6 million, they buy $100 million SPLC. They monetize at 70% LTV. And then the Rothschild was the one who actually put up the real money to buy the SPLC, which is, let's say, I'm going to give you the wrong number, $50 million.
Yeah.
So what they want is when trade in month one comes out for, let's say, 70 million, they put up the real money. So they want their 50 million out. So the client gets $20 million left. Now the Rothschild guy wants something out of it because he put up, he's not doing this for free. So he'll take, let's say, 10% profit share or something like that. It's not much.
Yeah.
So now the client has something, but next month, you don't need to repay for that instrument. It's already paid for. So 70 million comes out, and then he still takes his 10, 12%, whatever he takes, and the client gets the remaining.
well, that's good then.
Okay, so
And
now,
it's pure wealth enhancement, so that's good because there's no projects required on this.
okay, so now I understand that. So now I want to ask some questions. What happens if William falls sick, or if William wants to go on vacation? What happens if a person called Lanny falls sick, or Lanny goes on vacation? What happens if Rob falls sick and Rob goes on vacation? How does the system work if
The
one or two
monetization
people are,
party, which is I only choose the several ones that I'm comfortable to work with it.
so say that one more time?
I say the monetization
Yeah.
is so many party they can do, but I only choose to work with the business partner that I feel comfortable work with.
Yeah.
So by all means, once we execute this one, I will just let my old connections and I would determine, the several legitimate party that I can work with.
So the gang leader, I apologize, this is probably the wrong way of saying it. The brain trust is William.
The brain trust is the winner. No, actually, it's everybody. The people we were involving here.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say it's you for
So
now.
I am actually working for monetizations site out of that. But, eventually I will have I will pass on my connection to Robert. So Robert will know and we will coordinate. Even like a Caesar, you already know him, right? Oh, we all working as a team.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now I need to write a contract for some guy who's put up 250K today. And I just need to figure out what the contract says. So
Mhm.
here's what the contract says, and I want all of us to be on the same page.
Okay.
So the $200,000 goes into a law firm, I don't care. The money counts from the day it hits Robert's law firm, or Robert's bank account. From the day it goes to Robert's bank account, it counts as day one.
Yep.
So Rob goes and buys a $4 million DLC in 15 banking days. Then the DLC is LTV at 32 to 50%, where William gets $2 million cash from that as a seller, and then William is giving the $2 million to Rob in form of an investment or IOU, and that takes 5 banking days.
No, my banks to drawdowns, that's what they tell me the 5 banking day, but today is a 5 banking day, they still reviewing the paperwork.
So can I tell you 10 banking days?
Well, either way, tomorrow, we can just put the preliminary, the dates.
Yeah, preliminary.
Yes, and just, you probably need to put in the cost is, the actual time frame, it depends on the receiving banks for their reviewing schedule.
Okay. Can I put 10 banking days?
Yes, so such as my bank notifying me, yes, they receiving the document LC, and then they are reviewing that. So let's say 10 banking day, they say, okay, William, approval, you need to provide me the paperwork.
Okay.
So I provide them the paperwork based on the DLC verbiage right now, and today we just heard. So because we are using the intermediate banks right now. So my Chase Bank is gonna send it to the Abu Dhabi Islam Bank. So probably their correspondent is about take 2 days. And Abu Dhabi Islam Bank will take they will send actually the MT-199 to the actual issuing bank, okay, to ratify for all of the paperwork. So it's determined by the actually issuing bank how fast they can react once they receive the paperwork. So
Okay.
normally,
So something happens here. What happens in between? So Chase provides reviews the paperwork, and it takes 10 days to review the paperwork. And then there's the issuing of what? Issuing something gets issued.
what? Something issued.
So
Well, we're talking about the approval, like, okay, here you go, it's approved, we've got the paperwork.
Yeah, normally the banks that I'm work with, they will reply, say, okay, William, upon verify and due diligence for your document LC, we are agrees and working on your behalf. So once I receive that, I can presenting the document LCs, required documents to trigger release the fund to me. So it depends on the term and condition. So, my term is very simple. So as soon as I provide it, of course, I need to prepare the sample shipment to ship out in order to get the bill of landing.
Sorry, you need to prepare what?
I need to providing the order of the inquiry shipping document. Hey, Robert, are you able to pull out the DLC, which is on the cost 6?
Oh, okay, 1 second.
Let me check. Am I able to find?
Hey, Rob, what that $300 million SPLC lease provider you gave me, can they actually perform?
They can.
Okay.
46. 46. There we go. So there's 46A. Documents required beneficiary draft for 95% of provisional goods value will be paid at site against presentation of the following 3 documents.
Yeah, so you can actually copy and paste on the group chat.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put that in the group chat as well. 1 second.
Yes, just for that 46.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the issuing bank request to release the funding. It's upon receiving those inquiry document. And then they were working on their banks and release the funds.
Okay. So this takes, hey, William, I need to investigate this and kind of take this on for you, takes 10 banking days. And then to issue it and to do all this.
Yes,
This is included in 10 banking days, or is this extra?
the 10 banking days is calculated, it's the upon receive. The bank confirming they receive the SWIFT. Okay, and then once they received, then they need to they say 5 banking day, but now it's 5. So they need to get approval, which is my banks need to get the approval. And then I will expedite processing to prepare all of the paperwork. I'm focusing to get it within the 3 days and also arrange the shipment.
Okay, I'm just going to write 5 days. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, so I need to send that within 5 days to my bank, and my banks will take instruction and corresponding with the issuing bank.
Okay.
So that probably you can take another 10 days. Correspondent.
Instructions from William. William and response to the corresponding in 10 banking days. What the hell? Okay, so then the corresponding bank.
Oh, the corresponding bank, well, either way, it's a corresponding bank or the issuing bank.
Right.
We go through the corresponding bank, it takes a little bit longer.
Okay, so if you go through an issuing bank now, what happens?
Well, it depends. If this is a top 25, I think the processing will take much faster.
So now, so now you need to draw down and give Rob the cash he needs to buy a $40 million SPLC. So how do you go from working with the issuing bank to give Rob the money he needs to buy a $40 million SPLC?
So remember, we have a 60 days to pay, 6 months to pay off the document LC. So let's say for the total processing, I'm just using the ballpark. Okay,
Yeah.
combine those together, let's say 30 days. So
So,
once I receive the money,
yeah,
let's say the 30th date, I receive that, then the next day I will actually, once I receiving the funds in my account, then I will just follow the undertaking letter instruction and, instructed the payment, okay, to send it to Robert or send it to the client who come out the money as a complete payment. Right? So we will use it as either as an investment fund, investment purpose, or as using by IOU, which is he gonna give me, IOU paper, and then it's pretending I lending the money to him. It's only internal paperwork.
right. Okay.
Understand?
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so the IOU thing, just very confidentiality. I do that all the time. Like my
Yeah.
mother is a senior, and she's over 70 years old. My mother is under pension. She has this religion that you can't screw around with a pension. And in Canada, if my mother makes over $7,500 a month, her pension gets cut off. Why would the government want to pay her any money like that? So the investments I have privately, I do on behalf of my mom or whatever, I give it to her as a loan. So
They have to, all the Irving family does that. They do it loans at prime +1. They have to charge interest. You
Yeah,
have to.
that's exactly what I do. That's
You
exactly.
have to. That's why I tell people, all the rich, they gift it as loans to family members, want to buy a house, business. It's always loans, loans, loans. CRA says you have to loan it at prime.
There you go. Okay. So
Even the monetization, when the SBOC monetize it, my party, they will actually send this fund. They were requesting the clients to give them an invoice. And then they will turn and runs like buying the products and just send the money to applicant.
let me ask you that question. Okay, so 15 days here, 10 days here, another 5 days here, another 10 days here. So
Mhm.
that's 20, 30, 40. So on day 40, the client gets their money back? That can be.
No, it's much sooner. We're talking to repay the principal. We're talking about 15 banking days.
Let me run this again.
Yeah.
Rob, there's $200,000 that shows up in an account that Rob says, put $200,000 in this bank account. Rob goes and buys a DLC for $4 million, gives it to William, who's the seller of the goods, and the DLC has a payment instruction. Then William has the right to draw down the funds, and that takes 15 banking days.
You should combine everything.
William goes to Chase, who provides a 30 to 50% LTV, and gets a $2 million cash. William signs the undertaking letter and sends the money to Robert as an investor IOU in 10 banking days. So is all of this happening in 15 banking days? And I wrote down 10 banking days?
So
I would add.
this is actually the two parts you were talking. So what's your question? Your question is the total, combine everything together?
No, just to repay the capital 200,000 cost back to the investor. Like the client put in 200,000.
So you receive the funding and then you pay them.
Yeah. So we're saying, because it's not 40 banking days, but we're saying, okay, from start to finish, I would put it at, I'd put it at 20 to 25.
Start to finish. Impossible.
Oh, no. Sorry, you're talking about the whole cycle, like every cycle?
Well, let's just do step by step. So Rob, here's $200,000.
Yeah.
Buy a DLC. That takes 10 banking days.
Yeah, we're saying 10 banking days, but we're putting, including to draw down, we're saying 15.
Okay, got it. So, okay, fine. So, okay, got it. Okay, wait. Okay, 15 banking days.
Yeah.
The Chase provides 30% LTV. William gets $2 million cash, all that, and then he gives you IOU. That's all in a 15 banking days. Then.
Yeah, that's safe to say, right, William? 15 banking days?
I think it's a little bit longer.
I think so too.
Okay, so then let's say,
25 banking days.
Okay,
Well,
25.
Tomorrow I told you that I prefer it's more, put the more. I want to make sure that we don't do any misrepresentation,
100%.
especially for the time.
100%. That's why we're having this conversation because it's that important to me too.
Yeah, pretty much right now. Draw.
So let me just also make this a little bit larger. This is much better. Okay. So Rob gives $4 million. Gets $4 million DLC, or gives $4 million DLC to William, who's a the goods DLC as a payment instruction and allows William to draw down. Chase provides a 30 to 50% LTV, and then William gets $2 million cash. William signs the undertaking letter, sends the money to Robert as an investment or IOU. All of that, 25 banking days.
Yeah.
William, could you be a yeah?
It's very tight, but it's around that range.
Okay, let's not make it tight. 30 banking days.
Mm-hmm.
That's doable, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then, so in 30 banking days, now the client, 30 banking days, the client gets their money back.
The 200,000?
Only the 200K.
Only the 200K. Okay.
So now they're only at risk for 30 banking days. Rob, I know you're a yes. I'm waiting for William to become a yes or to change something, whatever you want, William.
So once I receive the funding and I send it, either we can do the undertaking. So both part is pretty much about that. So you want to be returning the funds to the issuer.
Just 200K, nothing more.
we're not doing the ramp up, just here's the principal back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, technical, general speaking, if by sequence, that's pretty much. But like I say that, I really don't know the banks, how they operate in these things. So pretty much will be take maybe additional 5 days. But if you say the 30 days, then we can project that the 30 days of returning for that initial investment.
Okay, how about I said 35 banking days?
Okay.
Okay, Rob, you're good with William is okay on 35. You must be okay on 35. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, upon receiving the instrument, William can present the DLC to trigger the release of the funds. This happens here. Sorry. terms, William needs to prepare a documentary of releasing all this stuff, documentary of releasing. All this happens way before. So let me start again, because this is very good. This is a very good exercise. I'm so glad we're spending some time doing this, because the way everybody's watching the screen is awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, so $200,000 goes to an account that Rob says send this money to this account.
Yep.
Wherever it is in the world, from the day that money hits that account, the clock starts ticking. And what Rob is doing is he's purchasing a DLC for $4 million. He gives this DLC to William, who's the seller of goods. The DLC is being used as a payment instruction to allow William to draw down payment. What that means is that William's going to Chase, who provides 30 to 50% LTV. And William, in theory, gets $2 million cash. But before William gets $2 million cash, he has to sign an undertaking letter. He has to, upon receiving the instrument, he has to present the DLC to trigger the release of the funds. He has to provide terms and conditions. William needs to prepare a shipping document and bill of landing. The release of the funds goes to the issuing bank. The issuing bank needs beneficiary draft, whatever, all these things that the issuing bank needs. The issuing bank then receives instructions from William and responds to a corresponding bank and sends money to Robert as an investment on IOU. And this happens in 30 banking days. Actually,
That's all based on the best condition.
35 banking days.
Yes, by all means, I want you to put the cost like earlier today when we have a conference call. It's really depends on the bank, their processing schedule. So we can say this is a preliminary, the projection time, okay, that we have experienced. But, once the banks, they say, hey, I need to take a longer time, then, I don't want to bury that liability in my side.
100%. William, I'm so in line with you. You have no idea. So in line. Before,
I have to say that because, to do those financial transaction, I really don't want to cut in the precise date, which is I'm not representing the bank. And
I mean, William moves really fast. I tip my hat to him, or just, it's.
Yes,
bankers,
but
we have to educate them.
yes, I know, I understand that we all working as a partner. So I just want to let you know.
yeah. The intention of this is not to blame William, Rob, or me, or anybody. The intention is to tell a client saying, hey, you're going to put up $200,000. You need to know by when the money will come back. We anticipate, the keywords anticipate, can control. Day 35, you'll get your money back.
Yes.
That's really on best efforts.
Yes. For the contract that we issued from our trust, we always will put that cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So day 35, the client gets their money back of 200K. Oh, sorry. The 200K comes back. Okay, got it. William receives the money in his account, follows the undertaking account letter, sends it to Robert. Okay, this happens before. This happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this one you need to put after the IOU. Right?
Robert, right?
Yep.
By the way, I'm going to email this to all of us at the end of this call, so you'll have it. So now Rob has, the client gets their money back. Rob gets.
So you can put the different color, a DLC. This is just supporting for, well, the DLC cost that Robert gave it to you. Yeah, and you probably need to put it on top of the 200K. No. Very, very top. This-
top of the
Okay,
DLC cost.
Yeah, DLC, yes. So this one, it should be go there.
There we go.
okay, okay, cool. So then, so now day 35, the client gets their money. We haven't taken any broker fees at this point because we haven't finished the merry-go-round yet. Okay. So then what happens is that now Robert gets a $4 million SBLC. He's cash out $2,200,000 is left to the gone to the client, and now $3.8 million is left.
Okay.
It should be 1 point, sorry, no, it should be 1.8. 1.8.
How do you get to 1.8?
Because we've taken 200 out, like we're doing 30 to 50% of 4 million.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, so 1.8. Okay. Now with 1.8, you're going to be able to purchase a $40 million DLC, SBLC from one of the top 5 banks in 15 banking days.
Yeah.
Okay. The $40 million DLC goes to William as a seller. It gets monetized at 30%, but this time it goes to a guy called Lanny. Lanny goes to Bank of China or the 19th Bank or the Industrial Bank of Indonesia.
Or
He-
90,
Nanking, Nanking, right? Nanking, right?
Nanking Bank, yes.
Yeah, that's the one on the proof of funds. God, the WhatsApp. Yeah, there you go.
And this bank, we can go to anything between 10 million to a few $1 billion for monetization.
Yeah.
Up to 5B.
And the beneficiary of the SBLC is either Robert or William's company name.
Now, beneficiary will be the monetization bank. Yeah, monetization party's company,
Who is who?
Lanny's company, Lanny's appoint company. So it's either is the proof of fund that you receive, the company called Beijiakun, or the other company, which is on the DOA that I gave it to you. It's a Harbin Commodity Trading, something like that. Harbin, Harbin. Yes. BIN, no G. Commodity Trading Corp.
Okay. Okay, so now the
Issuer should be Robert's name.
Robert, what's your company's name?
Vinklum.
What?
Vinklum. Yeah.
Those-
VINCLUM.
VINCLUM.
Yeah.
Corporation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So now the issuing bank of the SBLC, which is one of the top banks, sends the MT799 to the monetization company, which is Lanny. Monetization bank provides the RWO proof of funds to the issuing bank, which should be HSBC or whoever it is.
Yeah, top 25 bank.
Issuing bank then sends the MT760 SBLC monetization to the party Lenny. Monetization bank provides a LTV of 40% because it's a non-recourse loan of $40 million, which comes to $16 million. Then there's a pay down of the DLC for 4 million, the broker fees, and then the client gets $11 million. My question now becomes from the 40 million to the this should be SBLC, sorry. From raw purchasing SBLC of 40 million to the client getting 11 million, how many days does that take?
So normally it's take about, for Lenny side, let's say 7 banking days. Once they receive
There's
the,
no way all this can happen in 7 banking days.
what?
I don't, there's no way this can happen in 7 banking days.
No, I say that as after received MT 760.
Okay, got it. So after receive MT 760, which is here. So from here to here is 7 banking days. From 40 million SBLC to here, how many banking days? I think 10 would be 15.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause let's just
Issue
say,
and send it out the SWIFT, yeah, total combined is, no, hold on. Because this is what we are happening right now. So 2 weeks, 14. Because you need to calculate the NT 799 from the issuing bank. That takes 48 hours. So once they receive the monetization party, they're providing the RWA or the proof of fund that might be the fast instead of send the MT 799. So let's say for the bank processing, the correspondent. So the first is the 2 days and 3 days. And the monetization bank reply, that's take another 2 days or 3 days, 6 days. And then the issuing bank will issue the MT 760. The fastest schedule is pretty much around 7 days. So they receive, that's why I'm saying the 10 to 14 days for the bank correspondent.
So here's what I'm going to say, 35 banking days.
Okay.
So 35 banking days for 4 million, for $200,000 to go into the client, getting their 200K back, and SBLC of $40 million being produced is 35 banking days. And then another 35 banking days for that SBLC of $40 million to turn into $11 million in cash. So all in 70 banking days.
No, as the after receiving the MT 760, the Lanny's company, because they already have a pre-approved credit line, so they will immediately working on to release that credit line. So that's why after receiving the MT 760, the 7 banking days, they will send out the fund.
Yeah. So I actually put 14 banking days.
Yes. Yep.
So you're good here.
Yeah.
You're good here.
Yes.
So instead of 30 days, I said 35 banking days.
Yes. Pretty much about that.
more than enough time, yeah, that one.
So 35 banking days for the first merry-go-round, 35 banking days for the second merry-go-round, client gets $11 million cash. So $250,000, sorry, $200,000 in 70 banking days turns into $11 million cash. And that's when the client can exit and say, thank you very much, I'm done, I'm gonna go home. Or the client says, I wanna go to version 2.2 of this program, and I wanna go into a capital enhancement program. And then they put 5.5 with Rothschild and 5.5 with Taymor, Robb, and William. And then the 5.5 they put with Taymor, Robb, and William will get them $40 million cash in how many days? 65 banking days.
The trading?
Yeah.
Purchasing, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I now understand this. I'm now gonna, first of all, I'm gonna email this to all you guys. Then I'm gonna write this up in a contract that, Rob, I'm gonna give it to you for you to review.
Yeah.
And it's gonna go to the guy who put up 250K today. And it's gonna go to the guy who's gonna put up 200K on Friday, Jeff Robinson, who, Rob, you've met. William, you've met Jeff Robinson as well. I'm pretty convinced you've met him. Anyways, doesn't matter, but trust me, you met him.
Yep,
A lot of people in my life are.
I think so. I met with him, yes.
I just
Yeah.
want a lot of people in my life are very conservative. They hear me talk about shit like this, they go, "How come you're not a billionaire?" And I'm like, I guess that guy.
Well, you know, it is actually, this is a common ways to raise the fund, which is that's how they do that's how a lot of hedge funds they trading the bank paper like that.
Back and forth.
Well, I know, William, thank you so much for your generosity and thank you for like last minute just hopping into a call.
No
And
problem.
Rob, I know for you and me it's past midnight. I'm just really in debt to you. So thank you.
Well, I'm grateful working with you, and again, the value add you provide to the marketplace, because this is, what people need.
Love you guys. Really, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, no
And
problem.
then,
man.
Rob, is William part of the compensation on the $100 million SPLC?
Yes, he's taken care of across the board. He has to be.
Okay, good. So William, I have a client in Saudi Arabia, proof of fund CIS. This guy owns a major corporation. Called me a week and a half ago, wanted to go lease a $300 million SPLC from one of the top 5 banks. And I went to a provider who had I don't want to use the word sale, but it has a sale on, and it was 6 + 2 for a $300 million SPLC from HSBC Bank. Provided DOA. Client signed the paperwork, and then the provider called today, and they've been oversubscribed.
I believe so.
So I called Rob.
Now it's hot because it's the beginning of the second quarter. This is heavily trading on the SPLC side.
So Rob, I called Rob, and Rob was kind of to give me another DOA from Deutsche Bank for $100 million, and he said you have to do it 3 times. Did I send that 3 times? So I've now sent it to a client there in Saudi Arabia, so they're obviously a few hours ahead of me. And then once I'm expecting them to sign the DOA and send it to me tomorrow. And then
Awesome.
I am praying, hoping your provider can perform.
Yeah, we're going full blast. We have the best guy.